Holiday tragedies like Jay Slater and Dr. Michael Mosley show how little we heed Mother Nature. As the search for missing Jay Slater reached its tragic conclusion, it seems his death had little to do with all the wild conspiracy theories that surrounded his sudden disappearance, and there is a far more simple explanation. Just like Dr. Michael Mosley in Greece a few weeks ago, Jay embarked on a trek across Tenerife's mountainous terrain in intense heat, became disorientated, and subsequently lost his life. He's not the first, and he certainly won't be the last, to underestimate the power of the elements when you are largely unequipped to deal with them. Jay was only 19 and relatively fit. But perhaps thinking it was a shortcut, it seems he decided to walk home across rocky terrain, which, at around 8 a.m. when he set out, might have felt manageable. But by 8:50, when he called his friend Lucy Law to say he was thirsty and low on phone battery, the day would have been hotting up to temperatures that, without water or any form of shade, would have been intolerable even for the most experienced trekkers. Even former military reservist Chris Pennington, who joined the search for Jay, got lost in the ravine where the teenager was eventually found. "I was exhausted from the heat, extremely tired, and couldn't make my way through," he says. As we can see from the videos of mountain rescue experts being winched into the air by a helicopter to escape the steep and inaccessible area. Which explains why, despite legions of people searching nearby for the past 29 days, it has taken this long to find him. My heart goes out to his poor parents Debbie and Warren, who believe he was killed instantly after falling from height. At least they now know Jay's fate. Other families in a similar situation are still waiting for news of loved ones who disappeared in similar circumstances. Gary Tossell from Bridgend, South Wales is still waiting for news of his 73-year-old father, John, who vanished after going for a walk on the Greek island of Zant in 2019. A 4-week search of nearby mountains yielded nothing. In 2013, 67-year-old Roger Bainbridge from Kendal, Cumbria, went for a walk on Antipaxos and has never been found, and David Wolstenholme, 69, of Skipton, North Yorks, vanished without a trace during a hike on Serifos in June 2021. At least the family of ex-British Army cadet trainer Arthur Jones, 73, from Denbigh, finally got closure when his body was found slumped against a tree 6 weeks after he went for a walk on Crete in June 2014. So too the family of a 74-year-old Dutch man, whose body was found on Somos just 6 days after he'd set off on a walk last month. Jay wasn't an experienced hiker, but he was young and perhaps thought a trek across mountains wouldn't trouble him too much. But with little or no water, no phone signal to help with a route, the relentless power of the midday sun, and hidden drops, he clearly found himself in deep trouble he couldn't escape from. And of course, Mother Nature's power doesn't just lie in mountainous terrain. Strong currents in the sea, storms, floods, and droughts, we underestimate them at our peril. Sadly, it's too late for Jay, but let's hope that the publicity surrounding his fate will help save lives in the future. Since he first emerged out of the sea in those blue trunks, Bond star Daniel Craig has always been a crush of mine. But sadly, I now have the Ike, as Gen Z might say. I'm sure he'll be gutted beyond repair to hear this. But I digress. Formal blue shirt teamed with jazzy trousers, 80s-style Nordic jumpers, and a seemingly unbrushed floppy hairdo with a side parting. I couldn't put my finger on who he reminded me of, then it came to me. From Chris Lilly's irrepressibly un-PC comedy series Summer Heights High, a must-see, Daniel is a dead ringer for flamboyant drama teacher Mr. G. Best-selling sex guru Dr. Ruth Westhamer has died at 96. Much of her advice: don't have sex on a first date, have sex before going out to dinner, and making time for afterplay, and not just foreplay, made perfect sense. But not so much her suggestion to play games such as tossing an onion ring onto an erect penis. It is rife with pitfalls, not least because it invites size comparisons. As a friend once said of an ex, he could have sex with a Cheerio without breaking it. Bohemian Rhapsody star Rami Malek and partner Emma Corrin of The Crown have been photographed strolling along the beach with their security guard following closely behind. But if it seems like a Hollywood affectation, think again. For the beach is Ipanema, just off Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, where the risk of violent crimes such as assault and armed robbery are very high, and 90.57% to be precise, even for muggles. My friends went there and were mugged during the taxi journey from the airport to their hotel. According to a former classmate, would-be assassin Thomas Matthew Crooks was a comically bad shot when he tried out for the school rifle team. But his skills appear to have improved as a bullet aimed at Donald Trump's head ended up skimming his right ear because the former U.S. president turned to read the teleprompter. An investigation is still ongoing, but it appears that 20-year-old Crooks used the gun of his libertarian father Matthew, 53, a counselor and owner of more than 20 guns. A sentence that sums up quite how skewed life in America has become. A Cold War bunker is on sale for PS15 in Sedberg, Cumbria. Access is via a hatch, then a ladder down, an escape shaft to the 2 rooms. Pictured is the atomic kitchen in the minuscule sense. Still, I've stayed in worse places on holiday. The Princess of Wales attended Wimbledon on the final Sunday and looked radiant. Oh, and there were a couple of blokes playing tennis too.